So, Shelley, first of all, thank you for your time. And I got to ask you, I mean, just reading over, you've been doing cycling stuff since 2005. You competed in the Olympics. Looking at that, before you even got into it in 2005, what was your first impression about cycling before you got involved?
I honestly had no impression. I didn't even know it existed as a sport, and such a big sport that it was. So I went into this whole new world of sports, honestly. I played soccer at Roanoke College, so I played soccer, basketball, everything's team sports in everything before college and up and through college. So cycling is just a phenomenal sport. It's so many different disciplines. If you're not good at one, you can try another. It's mountain bike, cyclocross, track, road. So it's something for everyone.
When you look at it, you competed in the Olympics, and not too many people get that opportunity. And obviously, something bad happened where you probably had a chance maybe to bring home a gold medal, but it just didn't happen. Talk about the Olympic experience for people who probably maybe don't understand or probably will never have that opportunity.
It was incredible. It's a journey. It's definitely the hardest part is making the team, and that starts happening 4 years before the actual games. So I had a really tough road to get on the team. I had a lot of setbacks, and ultimately when I made the team, it was like the biggest achievement of my life, just making the team. But I think a lot of athletes that go to the Olympic Games get a little bit overwhelmed by the whole, you're in the Olympic Village. Like the year that I was there, it was Kobe Bryant was walking around, LeBron James was walking around, Michael Phelps was in the elevator when I got in, Misty May Trainer was bent over, and I'm like, that's Misty May Trainer. So it's really like, you're in shock almost, because you're like, wow, I'm with all these phenomenal athletes and I'm here, right? So you can get caught up in that, and I think maybe some athletes will get caught in the moment and not stay focused on their event, but cycling was early in the games, and so we competed like the second day. We didn't even go to the opening ceremonies because they didn't want us on our legs. So, but I raced, and it was an incredible experience. It was pouring down rain, and but the end wasn't the best for me, but it was just an incredible experience altogether.
You mentioned there were some issues with you trying to make the Olympic team. Could you talk more about that?
Yeah, I broke my wrist, and I had started to compete really well, and I was on the long list to make the team. You have to be on the long list to be even considered to make the team the year of the Olympics. So I was raising my level, and then in March of that year, the games would be at the end of July. I crashed in a race and broke my wrist, which set me back. I couldn't compete, which meant I couldn't get any results, and you need results, you need points to be able to make the final team. So I was sitting on a trainer and just with my broken hand, just trying to stay in shape, watching all the other girls that I was competing for spots get points. And then when I came back, I made the team, and they selected me, and then there was 2 girls that arbitrated my position. So only in America can you go and say, I think I deserve this spot, not that person. If the U.S. Olympic team selects me, somebody else can say, no, I think that I deserve that spot. So 2 people did that, and they took it to court. So I was still competing. I didn't have to show up in court, but the USA Cycling represented me and their decision to select me. So ultimately, I went.
That's the big key.
Yeah.
You mentioned, you played a lot of sports at Roanoke College, soccer, and
just soccer. I played
just soccer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just soccer, and to get the opportunity to come back to your alma mater to coach a sport that you've really grown to love over the last 15, 17 years, talk about how did all that come about, because they're starting a cycling team, men and women, but how did your name get into the mix, and how did you end up, the decision was made for you to become the head coach of the cycling team at Roanoke College?
Yeah, I think it's brand new, but it's all this Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024 team, right? So I've been affiliated with Nicola Kramer and Kristen Armstrong, raced with her in the Olympic Games. So we've been working together for all these years. So when Nicola came and started the team here at Roanoke, it was like a no-brainer for Roanoke College I came back to promote the announcement of that team, and when I did that, Roanoke College said, whoa, what is it? We want to be you know, like we want to be a part of this too. It's very exciting because this area is a phenomenal area for cycling. So it was just like, hey, why don't we have a cycling program? And then it was when they asked me, or they said they were going to open up the position to someone, I was definitely going to fight for that spot because I don't want anybody else to start the program by me.
Now, you know, for you personally, you know, you're kind of, you know, coaching at your alma mater. A lot of coaches, they have that opportunity to do that in various sports and various schools. But for you personally, what's it like to be a coach at your alma mater?
I love it. I mean, I'm walking around with a backpack on. I feel like I'm still in college. You know, I'm like going to my next class and walking around campus like that. But I love it. I know the school well. I still know a lot of the faculty and staff. So it's like I'm back home and my family's there. If I have a question, this is how things are getting done. As I'm starting this new program, I'm like, hey, I don't know the answer to that. Let me pop in this building real quick and ask this, you know, old friend of mine. Or yeah, it's really like it's awesome. It's a good feeling. Everything's better than when I was here. Like the facilities and they're amazing new athletic facility with an indoor track, and the soccer fields are all turf now, but it's okay. I'm happy to see the college has grown as much as it has.
Now, obviously, the partnership, talk about the partnership, obviously, between Roanoke College and Virginia's Blue Ridge 2014.
Yeah, I don't know the extent of how the partnership will grow, but of course it will. I mean, we're here, we're tied together. The manager of that program is one of my great longtime friends. So we're gonna, potentially it's a feeder team, right? So the Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024 is junior program. They have, I think, 27 juniors on the team. And so all those riders need a place to go after they graduate from high school, right? And it's hard. There's a bridge there's no bridge between when you're in high school and you decide you want to continue with cycling, but you're going to go to college to get an education. So when you find a school that has a cycling program, that's like a great opportunity. So I think that we'll work together. I mean, there's no reason why we won't work very closely together.
So how does it work about recruiting cyclists for that? Because I mean, obviously you recruit for other sports, but how would you recruit for, you know, competitive cycling team? How does that work?
Yeah, it's going to be new for me because I did not race collegiately. Of course, I played soccer, but for me, it will be just going to races, going to local races. And so local races, anyone can race. You're going to have junior categories, you're going to have high school students racing, that they're just amateur racers or even professional racers. And there's potential for people that I can that may be interested in the college. And once they know that there's a program at Roanoke College, I think it will be easy to draw them in.
You know, it's interesting, you know, I mean, you have so many accolades on the soccer pitch at Roanoke College. Maybe this is a silly question, but if you thought you would come back as a coach, maybe it would have probably been for soccer maybe
Yeah.
versus cycling.
For sure, and actually when I retired from cycling in 2016, I came back to Roanoke because I was living in Spain for 5 years and I was coming home not knowing where I was going to end up. My family was in California, but I didn't know if I wanted to be out there. And I thought about collegiate soccer coaching. I thought maybe that's what I want to do now after a professional cycling career. So I did come back here and I shadowed my old coach, Phil Benny, and I spent the whole season with them. It was an incredible experience, but there was no opening in, you know, they had their coaches already, so I was obviously not going to take anybody else's job. So I moved on from that. And I also realized that maybe soccer coach wasn't the right thing for me. I think the cycling was more fresh in my mind. But I wasn't thinking of collegiate cycling coach at all, right? It's just an opportunity that opened up, and I love coaching, and I think that I have a lot of experience that I can share with these really fresh, new kids, student athletes that don't know what's out there. I didn't know what was out there. I went out there this whole new world in this adventure that if you told me today that I was going to do all that I did, I would have told you were lying. So.
And finally, you know, you're part of the groundwork of this organization at Roanoke College, the men's and women's cycling team. At the end of the day, and this is kind of a broad question, I like asking them, that's how I roll. What is your vision? You know, because you're starting this basically from the ground up. What is Shelley Old's vision for the Roanoke College men's and women's competitive cycling program at the end of the day?
I want the Roanoke College cycling program to be nationally recognized. I want us to be one of the top teams in the country, if not the top team. And I want all the riders that come through our program to go on to compete and fulfill their dreams in cycling, which is endless, right? From here they can go on, they can go to the Olympic Games, they can go to World Championships, and they can represent their country. And I want them to learn how to represent an institution and represent something that's very important to them. Learn that at Roanoke College and take that on after they graduate.
Well, Shelley, first of all, I appreciate your time. You're awesome, and God bless you. And good luck with the Roanoke College men's and women's soccer too, but cycling program. And obviously,
Thank you.
You'll still have your role here with 24, obviously.
Yes,
Good deal.
for sure.